Okay, guys, we'll start. Okay, so now I have one order. So, Aakash. Yeah, Aakash, please turn your camera and if you have anybody, you can let me know.
Yes, sir.
So, we have any presentation? What we do?
Yes, sir. My presentation is scheduled today.
Okay, you can start. Let me start the screen share.
Okay.
Now you can start. Now you are sharing screen. Now, can you tell me your full name?
So it's just Aakash.
Then your email ID is 2020CSB1060. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And your task is develop a doctor search website, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any question?
So my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Aakash, and I'm pursuing my BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from IT Roped, and I've just completed my third year. So I am from Web Developers Group, and my project name is Doctor Search Website, and the task name is Develop a Doctor Search Website. So let's begin. So talking about the table of contents. So first I will be talking about the project, like why Doctor Search website, what is its requirement and what it is all about. And thereon I will be talking about the tech stack used, different technology or tech stack used in developing this project. And then I will be talking about the development stages for my project. And after that, followed by the website demo. And then I will be showing the references, and at last, the doubt section. So why doctors? So basically, you will see that there is no such single platform that will provide a comprehensive information about doctors and healthcare providers in a particular area. And it is quite a hassle, and you will find hard time scheduling appointments or finding information about doctors online. So this website is a broader effort to improve the healthcare access and outcomes in our community, and it helps in solving that problem. So what is Doctor Search website? So basically it is a comprehensive database of doctors and healthcare providers in your area, and our platform makes it easier to search for doctor based on doctor specialty and a particular location. So it has a user-friendly interface, and you can find the right doctor that to meet your healthcare needs. So whether you are looking for a general physician or a neurologist or a or any type of doctor, Doctor Search website will get you covered. So these are the tech stacks I have used. So Figma I've used for developing the initial prototype. Figma I've used for developing the initial prototype and design of my website. And thereon I've used Locofy for converting that prototype design to HTML and CSS code. And for the database part, for storing the doctor's info, I've used MySQL. And for the backend, to develop the web service, I've used PHP language. And I've hosted my website in 000 web hosting server. And I've used Postman for testing the API return. So that is done using Postman, and jQuery is used for testing the front end. So for connecting the front end and the back end part. So these are the development stages of this project. So firstly, I designed the prototype for the website using Figma tools, and thereon I converted this Figma tool to HTML and CSS code seamlessly using Locofy tool, and Then this website was hosted in the 000 web host server. And after that, the database was created for storing the doctor's info. And then the web service API using PHP language and the testing of the API was done. And at last, the front end was connected with the backend. And so firstly, talking about the designing the prototype using Figma. So Figma is basically a very powerful design tool, and it helps in creating high fidelity designs and with its detailed visual elements and color schemes and images. So it helps in designing an interactive prototype that can simulate user interactions and animations. So basically, it is very important to validate and refine your website design before you are actually into implementing your website. So Figma is a very helpful tool in that case. So this is the dashboard for Figma. As you can see, you just have to drag and drop different elements into this page, and you can see how easily you can just arrange your design into different segments. And these are all the different, on the right side, you can see different tools wherein you can give different fonts and font size to your elements, and it helps in overall managing your design and prototype quite well. So it is quite a helpful tool. So next on, once you have designed the prototype using Figma, you need to convert that code into a HTML or CSS. So basically, Locofy is used in that. So it basically optimizes the design which you have created using Figma with its so-called auto recommendations, fixes and generates high quality code. And it also allows tagging of interactive elements automatically. Like basically, if like you have one, like in my website, if there's a input search element for the doctor type and the location. So basically, you can tag that location here. Like you can tag that element like these are the input fields, or you can tag a particular buttons like these are the buttons. So it allows that. And also, this Locofy converts the Figma design into HTML, CSS code quite quickly and efficiently, and it ensures that website is optimized for performance. So this is the Locofy dashboard. So you can see on the right side, these are the 6 stages which are provided by this Locofy. And you can see first it is optimize the design. So basically, it helps in arranging all the elements which fall in a particular division. Like you can see, this is the navigation bar. So basically, if you can see home, about, service, all these things are kept together so that once the code is generated, it is a very well managed code and it is easier to modify it further. So it helps in optimizing design, and also once that code generated is optimized, the website activity are also faster and there is no lag in the website. And then you can also tag the interactive elements, as I told you before, like this. You can see search location or search doctor. These you can tag as input fields, and accordingly the code will be generated for them. And you can tag like these are the buttons. You can tag them as buttons, so code will be written accordingly for that. And then step 3 is the edit styling and layout. So basically, what it does is it helps like you will the properties like the animation properties, the hover on properties of different elements, and the font properties. All these can be set here. And then the step 4 are the add actions. So once like there's a link and you want to add a URL to that link, you can do here. Also, you can add on click features like for this button, like you can add the on click features. All those things you can add here. And finally, it generates the code for the prototype. And then hosting the website on 000 web host server. So basically, it is a free of cost service, and you just have to create an account in the 000 web host server and choose a domain for your site and upload all the necessary files of your website. And once you upload the files, the site is automatically hosted in the 000 web host. It has a very user-friendly interface, and it's very easy to manage your website and configure your website settings. So this is that 000 web host dashboard. You can see I've just uploaded all my files, HTML, CSS, and web service files in this my account. This is my website, and I have just uploaded all these files, and then this site is hosted with the domain name. So moving ahead. So after once I've created my website, I will also be requiring a database for storing the doctor's info. So for this, I've again used 000 web host. It also provides a database management tool. So basically, PHP MyAdmin tool is basically used to create a database in MySQL, and this doctor tables is created that store the information of the doctors. And I've defined the structure of the doctor table and included all the different columns and data types, set data types for those columns, and I've used appropriate constraints. You can see here, this is the database created in 000 web host, and this is the username, and this is localhost, and this is the name of the database. This is the PHP MyAdmin tool, and here I've designed that table. You can see this is the doctor table, and this is the doctor ID. It is the primary key, and you can see this is doctor name, doctor information. It talks about the experience of the doctor and the doctor area where the doctor is currently present, and doctor image and the doctor category, the type of doctor basically. So this is the database. So once you have created a database, hosted a website, you need to write the web service API. So what it does, it basically is a way for the application to exchange data and services. So basically it will fetch data from the database and bring it to the front end. So that part is done by the web service API. So like in my site, you have to give input of the doctor type and the location, and it will return the matching doctors from the SQL database to the front end of the our site. So for that, you have to write the web service API, and that response which is being sent from the database is formatted as HTML elements so that it can be easily added into our website. So this is that web service code I have written. So you can see these are the input that doctor type and area parameters which is need to be given to the web service. And these are all the credentials for the logging into our database. And you can see this is the SQL query which is written to fetch doctors of a particular type in a particular area. And once these results are returned in this result data type, these are all converted into HTML elements and are returned here by doing echo data. So these are returned as HTML elements to the front end. So also you have to test the web service API before using it in the front end. It is very important to test the API before integration with the front end, as it may happen that there is some error in the API and then it will cause serious troubles in the integration with the front end. So basically in Postman, I've used Postman for web service testing. You have to basically set the request method to post to send the request to the database, and you have to set the URL API endpoint. And in my case, it is the URL for the web service for this web service file. And then you have to set the input parameters for the API request. In my case, it will be the desired doctor type or the area parameter to the desired location. And then you have to send the request and verify the response. So you can see this is the Postman dashboard. Here you can see I have set the URL of my web service file, and which is hosted in 000 web host server. And then you have to set the parameters. You can see here, this is the type of the doctor, general, and this is the area. And accordingly, once you click on send, this information will be fetched from the database and it is returned here. As you can see, it has returned two doctors, Arvind Kumar and Paulami Ghosh. So these two doctors are of general type and belong to area Delhi. So it is returned here. Moving ahead. So now connecting the backend with the front end. This is the last part. So once you have created the backend as well as backend web service and the front end, you need to integrate both of these. So I have done it using jQuery. So basically event handling is used to trigger the API and fetch data from the database. So I have used asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Basically that is a technique to display the information into the website without requiring a page reload. So the fetched HTML elements are like just displayed into the website and page reload is not required. So JavaScript is used to update the web page without requiring a full page reload. So this is that JavaScript code. So basically once our document.ready. That means that once our page is loaded, so it will see this is the class which is associated with that search button. So once that search button is clicked, so the information in the doctor type and the area are stored in these two variables, and these information is passed to the web service API. So you can see here these parameters are being passed to our API, and this will return a response, and that response will be like added into our website without requiring a full page reload. You can see here it has set the HTML by the response which is returned by the web service. So now I will be giving the website demo. So this is my website. So you can see this is my complete website. So here these are the parameters. Here you can search your doctor, and here you can enter that. You have to enter the type of the doctor, and here you have to enter the location. So first, if we click on just search, you can see this will display all the doctors which are present in your database. If you just click on search. You can see here, I have 4 doctors in my database. See, I have 4 doctors in my database. So one is of 2 are of type general physician, and one is of type neurologist, and one is of type cardiologist. Let's say if you want to search a general physician. So you can see, as I've shown you, there were 2 doctors of type general physician. So these 2 doctors are displayed here. And if you enter a particular location, let's say Rohini. So you can see, as you can see, this was the only doctor, general physician from Rohini. So it is displayed here. Let's say if you want to search a neurologist. You can see neurologist is also displayed here. You can see a neurologist. There was one neurologist in our database. Let's say if you want to display this cardiologist from Mohali, so it will also be displayed. So you can see Dr. Shambhunath Gupta is also displayed. So these are the things. Like if you enter, if a cardiologist is, like say I enter in Delhi, here you can see as there is no cardiologist in Delhi, so there it will give no doctors found in area. So it was all about my website demo. So now the references. So these are the bunch of YouTube videos I've used as a references for developing my project. And that's all. Thank you. Any questions? Please.
Okay, so I hope visible, right? Yeah, Aakash. So are you done?
Yes, sir, I'm done.
Okay. So can you show me your conclusion slide again?
Conclusion?
Yeah. So have you included the conclusion slide?
No, I have not included that.
Okay, so
slide.
next time, please include the conclusion slide. So conclusion should be like, what are your results, what are your findings, or what are the limitations of your project, or let us say what are like different other problems that you have faced and how you concluded them. In a simple, you can conclude everything in just one slide. It should be short and
Okay,
simple. Okay, so try to include the conclusion slide next time. Okay. Next, coming to your presentation. See, for being your first presentation, it was a really well done presentation, I would say. Greatly presented, well done. Like you have put together everything really well. But the thing is, see, you need to work on your project demonstration skills. So when I say project demonstration skill, work how you are demonstrating your work to your viewers or how you are demonstrating your project. So you had one instance where you were explaining about the database and you said this is the primary key and these are the other columns in your table. So don't explain like that. Okay, explain with respect to
sir.
client, like with respect to the client understanding that you got. So you must have got an email and you received what the client wants, right? So go over that and based on that, explain why you have used this particular database table, right? Or why you have used this
Okay.
table. Give me
Okay,
your
sir.
thought process during this project. So what was your thought process when you were actually creating this project, or what are the steps you followed? So that will be more preferable. We need more in-depth explanation when it comes to your project. Other than that, you have put together everything really well. Just work on your explanation skill. So what we need more, just try to do more in-depth explanation technically. On the technical terms, be more specific. That will be fine.
Sure.
It looked like you were just explaining what you could see on your screen, right? So don't explain like that. Explain your thought process while creating this project. Okay.
Okay,
Other
sir.
than that, really well done presentation. And I think your formatting can also be improved. See like what fonts you are using, the font color and the font size and everything. Your PPT will really improve a lot because I can see you have used really good design. Okay, so work on
Okay,
your
sir.
formatting skills. Like
Okay, sir.
go to some slide where you have your postman screenshot.
Okay, sure.
Uh,
Postman screenshot.
Yeah, see slide number. Yeah, you can say this slide, right? You have PHP my admin. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
you can make your instead of I can see your blue background, right? So that is a wasted
Sir.
space. When we are
Yes, sir.
having a presentation, the text is already small, right? And if your image is also small, there is like wasted space. That will be there will be problem with the visibility to your viewers. So you
Okay,
can
sir.
also improve the formatting. Okay.
Like this screenshot should cover the entire page.
Yeah, it will be much more preferable, and if it will be more preferable if you are doing it in the presentation way. Okay, even though it is
Yes, sir.
in full screen, but do it in the presentation way. Okay, you can I think
Sir.
on Windows it is F5. You can go in presentation way. That will be much more better. Okay, so see on that. Other than that, your presentation was really well done. Keep up with this one. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah, so you will get the score by tonight. We'll move on to next person. That is Akhila. You can stop the screen share now. Thank you for presentation. Yeah, Akhila.
Yes, sir.
You have presentation.
Yes, sir. I have presentation. I cannot start screen share.
Yeah, Aakash, can you stop
Yes,
the
sir.
screen share? Yeah, you stop. Yeah, now you can. I think start.
Yes, sir.
What is the name of your task?
Sir, my project name is Real-Time Stock Market Data Web Application, whereas my task name is Overview of the Project Synopsis, sir.
Okay, you can start now.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Akhila. I'm from Web Developer Group. So coming to my project name is Real-Time Stock Market Data Web Application. And in this presentation, I'm going to present you about the overview of the project synopsis. Let's see. So in this presentation, we are going to see what is real-time stock market data web application and why we use it. And then what's the outline of creating web application and then how website works. And then we check the challenges and references, and at last conclusion. So let's see what is real-time stock market with data web application. It's a platform where traders use it to track the real-time stock market data and trade accordingly. As these web application use it to pull real-time stock market data and then use it to display it in very user-friendly manner. And these web application use it to display stock prices for various companies and securities, and which they use it to display the stock prices like current price, low and high price, opening and close price. And these can also be represented in a chart. And we have different type of charts like line chart, bar chart, and candlestick charts. So from these charts, user can find particular pattern like uptrend, downtrend, or double top, double bottom. So by these patterns, the user can decide whether to buy a stock or sell a stock. And along with this, we have some oscillators and indicators called moving averages or relative strength index. And it's an essential tool for investors and traders. So now let's see why we use it. So firstly, real-time updates. As this website is using the real-time data, which pulling the data from the data sources, so it helps the user to make timely investment decisions. And then advanced analysis tools. These applications use it to provide tools like historical data analysis and then graphs, charts. So from this, user get in-depth analysis and then user-friendly interface. So these user to allow user to interact with the data and provide visualizations, graphs, which allow the user to interpret the more effectively. And then customization. So in customization, user can make like set some alerts for a particular price level, or else if a person want to track a particular stock, then he can track it. And then integration with other services. So in these these web application use it to integrate with other services to provide information regarding the new financial stock market news and trade executions and etc. Now let's see outline of creating web application. Firstly, we define the requirements and we'll identify the key features. And for our website, the key features are real-time stock market data and then user authentication and security. And this is the most important because we have to make sure that the user data was secure. And then easy to understand format. Because of this, user can make good interpretation. And then responsive design. These can be achieved by using Bootstrap. And then secondly, we have to choose the technology stack. In technology stack, we have to select the programming language. So in for front end, I have selected HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. And for backend, I have used Node.js and Express.js, MongoDB. And then APIs, I have used Alpha Vantage API, News API, where Alpha Vantage API is used to get the stock market data, and News API use it to get the financial news, stock market news. And then third, obtain real-time data sources. So in this, if once we have decided the data sources, we have to sign in for an API key, which was provided by the data sources. And this API key was unique identifier and which grant access to the data services which was provided by particular data sources. And these data sources also provide an API documentation which contain essential information like how to make API requests and how the format will be, how the written format will be. And then fourth, set up backend infrastructure. In this, we are going to set up first server side to get the data processing and communication, and then we implement server side logic to fetch and process the data. And we can also store the data, like we can use those data in future for analysis. And then develop front-end interface. So in this, we are going to design our front-end page and then integrate real-time data. In this, we are going to get the front-end and back-end part to connect each other, and we use WebStock to connect real-time connections and to get the data from data sources. And then deploy and maintain. Now we have host it on web server, and now the web application was ready to use. So let's see how our website works. So when an user interacts with the front end page, an HTTP request was sent to the backend API, and that request was forwarded to stock market API through API routing. And then backend receives the data from the data market through data retrieval. And data processing is going to take place at backend. And then this backend creates the HTTP response and it sends to the front end part. This is how our website works. So now let's see challenges which we need to face for making this website. The first thing was pull real-time stock market data and displaying that in user-friendly manner. And then implementing user authentication and security features. So next, these are the references which I have used. And in conclusion, and this web application is an essential tool for the traders and investors. And in this web application, we have used web like Node.js and MongoDB, which are most web technologies. And then at last, these web applications helping users to navigate the dynamic world of stock market trading. So thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, so I hope your presentation is done.
Yes, sir. I have done.
Yeah. So, am I visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. See, your presentation was good. It is really well put together. The PPT is really well made. The formatting is good. But when it's come to your actual, explanation, you can work on your explanation skill. Be more in depth about, the certain topics. So let us say, can you go back to these slides?
Which slide, sir?
Go to that one, the sixth one.
Sixth one.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you have lot of information here, and then when you were explaining about the responsive design, so you said for responsive, we can use Bootstrap, and then you went on to next topic, right? And you have done the
Yes.
same thing for further topics too. But be more specific, be more in depth about it. So let us say when you are talking about the responsive, be more specific, like how the responsiveness can be achieved and how Bootstrap will help you achieve that responsiveness, right? What are the ups and downs of
Okay,
using Bootstrap? Because you have used Bootstrap, right? So you also need to provide what are the
Yes.
limitations and ups and downs of using Bootstrap. And same with other information also. So that is the level of
Okay.
information that we are trying to make when you are giving the overview of project synopsis task. Okay, because overview of project synopsis task is something like where you are giving overview of the project that let us say if I give it to your colleague, then they can look at this presentation and the document that you need to make, and then they can create a stock market application at that level of
So for that, I have made documentation.
you need to create a documentation which will explain the design and development process of the stock market application. I believe it is mentioned in the task. Let me just cross check.
Yes, sir.
Because there was no documentation presented in this presentation, right?
Yes, sir.
Your project synopsis app, you are from web development group, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the deliverable, it says a fully functional real-time product application documentation outlining the design and development of the application, and the presentation showcasing application and its features. So you have given the presentation, right? But there is no documentation on it. So you will not get score for the demo. You will only get half score. Okay.
Sir, in this we don't have any demo, sir. Like we have to make only the overview.
Documentation you need to show it to me, right? So after that, I
Like-
will see if how you have created the documentation, and you will get score.
Okay, sir. Like I have made documentation, like what are like how I opened, how I made this, like There are some
You
documents.
should have included it in the presentation itself because it says it is deliverable, right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
need to deliver it also with your PPT.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
So next time, keep in mind if there is any deliverable in your email, read it carefully and deliver it in the presentation itself. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
Akhila, you can stop the screen share if your presentation is done. And if you
Yes,
have
sir.
any more queries, you can ask me. Else, if you want, you can leave or stay for looking at the other presentation. Then we'll move on to
Thank you,
Manvi.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so am I audible?
Yeah, you are welcome. Can you tell me your task name?
Yes, sir. It was generating us, giving an overview of full stack web. Sorry, sir, just a second. Let me share the screen first.
But can you provide your email? In the chat?
My name is Manvi Laad. So just a second.
Can you give me your email because I can't see you are scheduled if you are scheduled or not.
Sir, manvilaad08@gmail.com. It is mentioned at,
MANVI, right?
yes.
No, you are not scheduled. I can't
Sir,
find
actually, it was mentioned in my mail that you have to give presentation on 13th.
on 13th.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. This is Manvi Laad. Today, I am delighted to present you an overview of the project, the real-time data stock market web application, overview of project synopsis. This project will use to revolutionize how investors track and utilize real-time stock market data in an easy to understand format. In this presentation, so moving on to the next slide. In this presentation, we will explore the importance of real-time stock market web application, how they will work, and the benefits they will offer to the user. Let's dive in. So, to begin, let us understand the purpose of our project. The objective is to develop a full-stack web application that will allow investors to access and track real-time stock market data effortlessly. We recognize that the significance of accurate and timely information for making informed investment decisions, and our goal is to provide a convenient platform for user to access such data, and it should be secure also. So moving on to the next slide. So what is exactly the real-time stock market website? So it is a platform that offers up to the minute information of stock market data. It will provide the data information each and every minute. This include real-time stock market prices, volumes, market trends, etc. So the web application will be designed to assist user in the investment decision-making process by providing them with the most recent data available. So now moving on to the next slide. What will be the key features of our website? So our real-time stock market web application will provide several key features that will enhance the user experience. So firstly, it will provide real-time stock market data, ensuring they have access to the most up-to-date data for their investment analysis. Secondly, we will implement user authenticity to protect sensitive data and ensure a secure environment for the users. Additional, our website will offer user-friendly interface. And lastly, user can also manage their portfolio accounts through our portfolio management system. So now moving on to the next slide. These are the technologies. So now let us discuss the technologies. On front end, technologies used in developing our web application. So for front end, we will use HTML, CSS for creating an appealing and responsive user interface. For backend, we will use Node.js, Express.js, along with the database management system, that is MongoDB. To integrate real-time data, we will use APIs such as Alpha Vantage, News, and there are so many APIs which we can use. To ensure a seamless experience across different devices, we are using APIs. And for responsive frameworks, for responsive design of the web page, we can use frameworks such as Bootstrap. So next slide. For creating a stock market data web application, firstly, we will select a reliable data provider to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the information. Next, we will build the website infrastructure using front-end, back-end, and database. Then we will integrate real-time data from our chosen provider into the website. So now, for ensuring smooth and accurate data flow, finally, we will test and deploy the website to ensure its functionality and usability. So next, this is the flow chart. How the dashboard will look like. Firstly, we will have the user will have to log in. Then they will see a dashboard where they can gather information. The API integration are used for data integration, pulling the data from different sites, and then data will be processed. It can be visualized in different manners such as graphs and so many things. So next slide. Moving on to the next slide. While this web application will offer numerous advantages, it's essential to acknowledge some of the disadvantages of using this website also. So some of these includes the possibility of data delay due to the technical issue or reliance on external APIs. Additionally, ensuring the security user information is of utmost importance, as any breaches can have severe complications. So now, next, I have mentioned documentation also. Just a second. So this is the documentation. Is it visible, sir?
No, it is not visible.
Documentation is not visible to me. Just a second, sir. So can I just stop sharing and share again for documentation?
please share again.
Don't know why it's not. Just a second, sir. Is it visible now?
Yeah, no, this is.
Okay, so this is the documentation of the website. So for this, firstly, I have mentioned the system architecture. Just a second. I have mentioned the system architecture. For front end, I have already mentioned we can use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for frameworks, we can use many languages. It will utilize React.js for framework, and we can use so many other also. The front end will communicate with the backend API to fetch and display the real-time stock market. Now, for backend, we will use Node.js, Express.js. It will serve as intermediary between front end and the database. For handling requests also, and for database, we can use MongoDB. MongoDB is flexible and scalable. It is suitable for handling dynamic nature of stock market data. So how application will work? Firstly, we will launch the application in web browser. Then we can see two options. If we have account, then it will show the sign up. If we don't have, then we will have to register first. Once you have registered, you have to log in into the website. After login, you will be redirected to the dashboard. The dashboard will provide you the overview of the stock market, that is market trends, prices of the stock, and other things. You can see all these things on the basis of charts, graphs, and other things. For this, there you can find the specific stock of your choice also by using search functionality, and you can also manage your portfolio. And you can also track your performance by using a portfolio management system. And this is the API integration part. For real-time data API, we will use Alpha Vintage News API for fetching real-time stock market data, and the API request will be made from backend to fetch the required data, which is then processed and displayed on the front end. Next, authentication API. The user here we will use HTTP basic authentication or API key authentication for user authentication. During user registration and login, API requests will be made and authentication user credentials securely. JSON web tokens will be used for managing user sessions and ensuring security to the user specific data. Now, secure API integration, API keys and other sensitive information will be securely stored in the application's configuration file and not exposed in the source code. Next, it's user interface. So our interface should be clean and look modern for the user who is using it, and it should be responsive according to the device its user is using, that is desktop, mobiles, etc. So let me just a second. So after documentation, we have conclusion part. So finally, our real-time stock market data web application provides investor with a convenient and efficient way to access and utilize real-time stock market data. With the help of this web application, investors can make well-informed decisions for their investment by using up-to-date information. Thank you. Now I'm open to the questions or the feedbacks you may have. Thank you.
Okay. So, good presentation. Explanation was really well done. The demonstration is really well done, and we have created documentations and everything. That is a good thing. But when it comes to explanation, you need to make a proper story. So that will make your overall explanation much better. So you can start by giving a scenario. So you need to work on how you start your presentation. So work on that. I would suggest that you can basically start by giving out what is the requirement of client, and based on that, what was your thought process during the entire task, right? How you have started it, how you have completed it. That will be good. It will be a timeline like a presentation. That will be a good presentation. Your viewers will be able to connect with you when you are giving a presentation. They will be it will be like a ride that they can also experience while looking at your presentation. That okay, if I want to create something similar, let us say you are creating stock market application. Let us say I also want to create it, and if you are giving your presentation like that, then I can connect with you. Right. I can also think if I want to create, I can follow the same thing and I will be able to create the application. Other is you can start by giving scenarios, okay, based on the client requirement and based on the need of stock trading application. And then it will also help you improve your overall ending of your presentation. See, your conclusion was really small. It can be improved, right? You can see previous intern who has given on the same topic, their conclusion was small, but it was also better, right? So you can work on your conclusion skill, work on your presentation ending skill, and how to start. Your explanation skills are on point, the demo is on point, and your overall, the project demonstration is also really good. Okay. So work on your overall story. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Then we'll move on to Yash Shabi.
Sir, I am audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
So, wait. So my screen is visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Your camera is not visible.
Camera is not visible. So now
it is visible.
So, respected sir, and a very good evening, everyone. I am Yash Shabi, a student from MIT University, going to deliver a presentation on stock trading application. So basically, this is the overall synopsis. In this, I will deliver about what we are going to, how to deliver. I will deliver the project, like what it will conclude, the overall documentation. So let's start. Sorry, 1 second, I get. Sir, I will reshare, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Sir. So, sorry, sir, sorry for interruption. So, before going to make a project, it is very important to see why there is the need, why we need this app. So, there was a time when investors had to call up with a stock exchange, with the they would put on hold the stock buyer, for holding and dropping the share. So this was a very complex task at that time. So in order to relieve them, we are here to make the project. Like if we see why there is a need of that application. So first is accessibility. Second is convenience. So these are the very important, like it should be accessible from any platform. Like if we see about the OS like Windows and the iOS, and like it should be accessible from mobile as well as the laptop. So it should be very convenient. Like user can be operate this app from any location. Like the third is the cost effective. This is the very important when the users see the app in terms of cost. Like if the user is getting the low cost app, then he will definitely move towards them. Then the fourth is research, and the fifth is portfolio management. Like in this, how we are going to manage everything, like the user profile, user data, the stock, the stock, how it will look like all the details we will see. So I will try to explain through the SRS document. Basically, what is SRS document? It is the software requirement specification. It is very important for the developer to make the documentation. Basically, it's a legal process between the software developer team and the customer, so that there is no conflict occurs. So basically, I will try to use the process model of software development life cycle, which is the spiral model. Basically, it will work in the order of first. I will try to take the requirement from the community, like what they want in their app, like everything. And the second, I will try to write down all the things, like all this stuff, all the formalities. And in third phase, we will try to make the prototype. Like for the satisfaction, we will make the prototype and show to the user. If it's satisfied the user, then we will try the go to the next type, like everything, deployment, testing, everything. Like we will go here for the regression testing. Then at last, we will deliver the final project. So basically, the documentation, I think this is the most important part. So which model you are going to choose. So this is the context diagram, which is DFD level 0 design. Since sir, it is an overview, so I didn't design all the levels of DFD. So basically, the user will ask the online, this is trading system or stock, we can say. User will ask to the system that what it required, and what they want to get access. Like the system will revert back, and there is an administrator who manages all the all the software. So this is the DFD data flow diagram level 0 design. So how it will work? It will work on the market value of stock, and we will subtract the amount of loan. So it will give the equity. Basically, it's we say in language of trading system. I will not go into the depth. Then equity amount is divided by the amount, and this is the percent, or like this is the benefit the user will get. So if we see the number of users, like as I say, earlier people was connected through phones. So from like 2014 onwards, this is the data of Robinhood app. So number of million users we can see increases up to 22.7 million from 0.5 million. So I think there is a need of that type of apps so that the complexity could be reduced. So how basically I have designed all like in three three tabs here visible. So first is basically I have designed a Java class which is portfolio. Basically in this like all the stock marketing details here are gathered. Then the second class I will design the stock trading application which will inherit all the information from the parent class which is the portfolio. And the third class I will make which is known as stock. It is also inherit all the properties using the hash map. Then why hash map and why Java? As we know, Java is the most convenient language and it is the independent, basically the complex behind to use the Java because of independence. So Java is used, and the key concept which will also I will use here, the inheritance, like hash map. Why hash map? Hash map is basically like it, as we know, it consists of the keys and values. So user will get an ID, which is, we can say it's a key, then he will put that into the login page and get access to the credentials. So basically, through the documentation, I have tried to explain like how the app will work. So the references are Java Point and Geeks for Geeks. At the conclusion, I see if that, like, it is the very important for the user to maintain their privacy and security. If the app is maintained that decorum, like that discipline of security, then I think it will be a very good for the market. So that's the overall documentation I have tried to explain. If any question, I would like to answer. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you show me your conclusion part?
Sir, I didn't go to this conclusion. Like I haven't created, like I didn't know what to conclude. Like I have only go through the overview. Like
Can you tell me the name of your task?
sorry, sir, you are not. Your voice is. Can you please repeat?
Can you tell me the name of your task?
Sir, it is the overview and the documentation of the real-time stock trading application.
Documentation of real-time stock trading application. So is it overview of project synopsis?
Yes, sir. This is the task one.
Okay. Then there was in the email, the task name was overview of project synopsis, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you will just go with this title, overview of project synopsis. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, you have a talent for presentation, but you need to prepare a script, right? So what does that mean? See, you are trying to explain, but like, you are not, your hook is not correct, and your story is all over the place. So create a script, what you will say, and then practice it and then deliver it. Okay. And during the welcome session, I have explained all the things that you need to include. That does include conclusion. So in the conclusion, you can just basically conclude your overall result and findings. So let us say, based on the, like, the software development life cycle that you have explained really well, based on that and other things that you have explained, you can conclude like what we end up with, right? You can create
Yes,
a
sir.
small prototype or a wireframe, right? You
Yes,
can
sir.
include
Yes.
those things. These are the really simple things that you can just draw on a piece of paper with a pencil, like the wireframe of your
Sure.
website. So because when you are thinking about the overall software development life cycle, and when you are thinking about how you will create your website, you will have some kind of idea, right, during the entire process. So you can just make a wireframe of that website on a simple piece of paper. You can include that image and conclude that this is what I have end up with, and then further on we will try to develop this website that you can see. That can be also a good conclusion, right? You can
Yes, sir.
also include what are the limitations that you have find out, or what are the challenges that you have find out, and how you are able to solve those challenges, right? So one of the challenges can be, let us say, you were trying to make a responsive website, but you think Bootstrap is really a bloated framework, and it will there will be good performance. Let us just say it is. You can
Yes.
say what are the other things, and then you can try to conclude. So instead of Bootstrap, you can use regular CSS and use media queries for making it responsive. So there are many things that you can speak for the conclusion part. As you give more presentation, you will be more understandable on that. And when you have the Q&A slide, I suggest that you make a thank you slide and Q&A slide is separate. And what you can do is, so the thing is, when you say anyone want to take a question and no one says anything, right? So that becomes quite awkward, right? You think, oh,
Yes.
now what should I do? So best thing to do is you can say anyone has any question, and if no one says, you can wait for between 5 to 7 seconds and then move on to thank you slide. Or alternatively, you can add the thank you slide first. You can say now I'm done with my presentation. If anyone has any conclusion or feedback, you can proceed with that. Right. So
Yes.
if anyone has any feedback, let us say I have any feedback, I can conclude with that. Right. So that will this thing you will learn when you give more presentation. And if you have better story, so what is a story is basically let us say how well you are able to put together your entire presentation from the very start to the very end, right? That is also considered when we are giving score for it. First thing is your introduction was not well done. Okay, be more
Yes.
specific in your self introduction, like your group name, your batch name, and everything.
Okay.
And then be more specific on your task information. Okay, so when you get a task, you get an email, right? So in the based on that email, you can conclude what you understood from the client requirement, right? So that will also help you build a good start or story, and then you can proceed to your overall presentation, right?
Yes.
So you can do that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Sahil. Yeah, yes. And then video. Sahil, your camera is not on.
Is my
Sajid,
screen is visible, sir?
yeah, your screen is visible. But Sajid, how many presentation we have to give to the internship? There are no fixed number of presentation. You need to complete your task, and based on the task you have completed, you need to give same number of presentations. So let us say you have completed 3 tasks, you need to give 3 presentations. I hope this clears up your question. Sahil, yeah, now you can start.
Okay, sir.
Currently, your task name first.
Yes. Hello, sir. I'm a graduate student from IIT Rockford, and my today's topic is real-time market data. And the task name is overview of project synopsis. And so in this presentation, I have covered the following topics: introduction. First of all, I have covered the requirement, like what task I have assigned, and then I will cover the introduction part, then tools and technique that I have used to make the website, then the design of the project, then working of the project conclusion, and live demo of the project. So requirement. So in this task, I have assigned to make a real-time stock market data that is easy to understand for the people who are using, who want to get the data of stock market. And that design must be responsive. And we also need to make a user authentication system. Real-time stock market data. So this application is actually provides the real-time data of the stocks of any company. And actually this website, it provides the following details like opening and closing price of the stock, lowest and highest price of the stock, volume of the stock, and dividend amount of the stock. And this platform that I have created provides all this information in a graphical visualization. So tools and techniques that I have used to make this website are: for the front end, I have used the React.js. For backend, I have used the Express.js. And for authentication system, I have used JSON Web Token and NodeMailer to verify the users. And next is the database that for this website, I have used the MongoDB database. Then API that I have used is Vintage API. So this is actually the page of this website. So here is the screen share search bar, and if we press any letter, then it will show the screen where it has shown some results letter, like these companies are started with T letter. Then I can click on any of the company, get the details about that company. And this is the graph that it actually shows us. Like this is the detail we will get after clicking on that. And like if I click on any of the company on this, then I will get the following details. This is actually showing the opening and closing price of the stock. And this is providing us the day wise, like every days, like it's shown from 1/11/2023. So working of the application. So first of all, the user will come on this website, and first of all, our website will check whether the user is authenticated or not. If the user is not authenticated, then we have the options like login and sign up. If the user has already created the account, then he can directly go with login. And if the account is not created, then he goes with sign up. Then a mail will be sent to their email account, and then the user will be verified. And once the user is verified, then he can go with the login. And once the login, it means the user is authenticated. Now the user can go with the search the company name and get the graphical information about the data. And now I want to show you the APIs and the website that I created. So this is the Postman where I created the following name like registration. So in the registration, this is the API, and it needs two details like ID and password. And this is the MongoDB where I have stored the data, like I created the account with its name, and used bcrypt to convert the data into the another form to make it more secure. And is verified true, it means we have verified its email account. So another is login.
Now, I believe he is having an internal question. We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. If he doesn't join back, then we'll proceed to next week. Okay, I believe we left due to internet disconnection. So, Nishant.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, do not turn your camera.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, you have presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
So good evening, everyone. I am Nishant, and my task name was to set up an AWS Cloud for stock market data management and analysis. And my task objectives were to set up an AWS Cloud and monitor and optimize AWS Cloud resources, and to get more insights in order to manage a cloud infrastructure operations for Hyderabad Limited. So what is the real world use of AWS services in stock market investing? So for example, this is an interface of a Grow application. So in order for an trader to get insights about the stock which he wants to buy, for example, here is an example of Reliance Industries, and the current market value of this is 21,446, and the historical prices, that is the previous price of this stock is also available in this chart given. So we can use the AWS services in stock market investing to get to know the insights and also analyze the data for trading purposes. So cloud computing in stock market investing. So cloud computing plays a significant role in stock market investing by providing the users with necessary infrastructure, storage, and computing power to facilitate various aspects of the investment process. So here are some of the key ways in which cloud computing is used in stock market investing. So the first way is data storage and accessibility, algorithmic trading and high frequency trading, big data analytics, and various other ways. So the next slide is AWS services, which are used in stock market investing. So various AWS services like S3, Aurora, DynamoDB, Lake Formation, Lambda, Cloud9, Data Exchange, SageMaker, SNS, QuickSight, Data Glue, EventBridge are used in stock market investment. So S3. So S3 is an object storage service that offers scalability, data availability, security, and it also boosts performance. So all the customers can use S3 to store and protect the data for a range of use cases. So S3 also provides management features so that you can optimize, organize, and configure access to your data to meet your specific business and organizational requirements. So what is RDS? RDS is relational database service which AWS provides. So it is used to provide database services and it provides 6 popular database engines. So they are Aurora, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL Server, and various other database services. So RDS is easy to administer. It is available and durable. It is highly scalable and it is fast and secure. So what is AWS QuickSight? QuickSight is easy to use and share. It is the best fit for visualizations for datasets to create dashboards and publish them. So it is very easy to share your perspectives on the storyboards using QuickSights. It embeds your BI reports in applications and websites. So now I'll show you the demonstration. As these AWS services are chargeable, I have terminated them and attached the screenshots for the same. So the first step was to create an S3 bucket for data storage and upload the data that was provided to us in a CSV format. So here I have uploaded the CSV data for the stock data of Bank of Baroda. So this CSV file is uploaded in the S3 bucket and it is stored there. So the next step was to set up an Amazon RDS instance for data analysis. So here I have created an RDS instance and I have used MySQL as the database engine over here. And then I have connected the RDS instance and imported the data using MySQL Workbench. So here you can run various queries in order to find out historical data. So here I have run one query, and as you can see, I've selected certain data from the stock data that was provided to us in a CSV format. So the next step was to visualize the data and perform data analysis using QuickSight. So QuickSight provides various services such as It helps to visualize the data using bar graphs, pie charts. So just so continuing with my presentation. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of using AWS services for stock market investing? So the pros of using AWS services are it is extensive, cost effective, it provides an
Hello, Nishant. I believe you were in your step number 4 in demonstration.
Okay, so I will continue with that. So continuing with step number 4. So the step number 4 was using QuickSight to perform data analysis. So QuickSight provides various services in order to visualize the data. So here I have sorted the data using volume by date. So the data which was provided to us, I have sorted using this graph. So QuickSight provides various services to visualize the data such as bar graphs and pie charts. So continuing, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using AWS services for stock market investment? So the pros of AWS in stock market investment is that it is extensive, cost effective, and it provides enhanced security, it is innovative, and it is a global leader. And the cons of using AWS services are its resource limitation, security issues, and we have to provide a certain technical support fee, and also various cloud computing issues, and also the lack of right professionals required for stock market investment. So in conclusion, we have set up AWS Cloud for stock market data management and its analysis, and successfully stored and analyzed data on AWS with Amazon S3, RDS, and Amazon QuickSight. So here are the references that I have used in this presentation. And thank you for your attention. And if you have any queries, you can contact me on the email given below. And if you have any questions.
So I hope your presentation is done.
Yes, sir.
See, your presentation explanation, I would say you need to work on it. Okay. See, the explanations were good, but it looked like you were mostly reading from the slide, right? So be more in depth about your explanation and also work on your story. So what you can do is when you receive the task at the start, during the start, when you are giving the task introduction, you can lay out all the things that you have understood from the client requirement. And then you can go on to say like how we can use different AWS features to implement the entire thing. And then go on to explain the implementation, like each and every piece of your presentation. And then in the demonstration, you can just explain, like, give demonstration on things that you have already explained in the PPT. And then in the conclusion, you can explain about the limitation, the cost, and other things, right? So your PPT content is good. You have made a good PPT. Your formatting is good, but it can be more in depth, right? So when you have like S3 and RDS, you said that it was like costly. That is why we are not giving like, the live demonstration, and you have screenshot. And it is acceptable to have screenshot. That is not an issue. But when you are talking about that, you also need to give a report on the cost, like what was the cost during the time you were doing this. Right. So from a company perspective, I can have better idea of the entire cost. And if I want to support scale the website, or let us say scale my entire feature, what will be the cost of it? I can estimate it through your simple task that we have done. Right. So be more in-depth and be more specific about that. Other than that, really well made presentation. The PPT is really well made, I would say. Okay, the content that you have put in is really good. Okay, the demo
Thank
was
you.
also good. Other than that, like there was some internet issue. Other than that, demo was really going well. Keep up with the demo. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nishant. Then Sahil, you can continue your demonstration.
Okay.
Please
Is
turn your camera.
it visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible, but you need to turn your camera.
Yes, sir.
If you are having internet issue, you can give your presentation tomorrow also. Because if there
Let's
are any. Okay, then continue with that demo. I believe you left on the demo.
okay, sir. So here is the website, and currently I am not logged into this account. So if I would try to access my home page, then it will automatically redirect me to the login page. So once I log into this account, here the pop-up is shown like login successful. Then I click here. Now as search bar is visible here, and here is the option to log out. So as I click on any word, like I press T, then it is showing that some companies that are starting with T letter. And let us suppose I click on any of the company. Then I think we have reached the, we can't use this alpha vintage API because I have reached the maximum times that I can use this. Should I try with them? Okay. Even this company has not much data. Like as I clicked on this T and I select a company. This is the company name, and here I shown the graph. But this company don't have much data like opening, closing. I have shown here, like it has only 0 opening and closing. So that's not much visible. And here I have shown the low and high prices, and then I have shown the volume of the share that are volume of the say stocks of the company. And at the end I have shown the dividend amount of the company that it pays. So I want to show you the APIs that I have created, like registration. As I click on this post request, it is showing successful user already exists. So it is the email address verified true. It means I have already created account using this email address, and I have already shown send this mail to my account, like verify account. This mail will send to the account who will want to create an account on this website. And next is this login page. Okay, so for the login, we have asked for the two details like email and password. I can show you here, like if I would log out from this account, we need email and password. Okay, so if I enter the detail like email and password, and I send this post request, then you can see here one cookies is added it will be added into our browser. So now this is the proof that we have already registered, sorry, not registered, we have authorization of the user. And here is the logout. And I think that should be visible. Cookie, yeah, on this platform, this is not visible that I am deleting the cookies, but on the browser, it actually works like that. If I would click on the logout button, it will delete the cookies that I have saved here. Like in login, there was the cookies, but it is still showing here, but on browser, it works fine. And next we have the check authentication. So this we will use before we redirect to the home page. We need to check if the user is authenticated or not. If I would check send here successful because I have clicked on the logout button. But if I again go to the login page and I would send to the request, Why it is. Okay, so now if I would check the authentication, then success true. It means I am logged in. And user verification mail, this will send to the user to check to verify their email account, and which is actually this one. As the user will click on this link, then it will open a new page, and that's for the to verify their email account, and it is showing the verified. Now the user can use this website. So I was on this platform. So I have shown you the live demo of this website and conclusion part. So in this website, we have actually created the web application to provide the information about the company stock market in a graphical manner so that they can easily understood this. And we have also implemented the user authentication system. And the main challenge that I faced in this website is the course error, that was cross origin resource sharing. And for that, I need to add some header files into the website, and that I finally did it. So here are the references that I have used. Like this is the blog that I used to learn about the React router DOM, and this is the documentation that I used Alpha Vintage API how to use that, and here is the Express.js. So that is it from my side, sir. Now I am open for the Q&A.
So I hope you are done with your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, presentation was good, but it can be more improved. Okay. Be more
Okay.
in depth in your explanation, because see, you have put in a lot of hard work. I can see that you have created a working demo. You have shown the working demo. That is a really great demonstration also. Explanation was good. But when it comes to your presentation, if you fail to explain your entire, the process of development, then all the
Yes.
hard work that you have put in, that will go to waste. Okay. So as always, as I said, start with your client, requirement, what you understood from that. Then what was your thought process, and then your entire development process. That will just this will help you build a good story, and as well as help you overall your presentation will also improve, because you will be going in step by step manner from the front end to back end to API, and then putting it all together, right? So
Okay, sir.
go like that, work on your story part, be more specific when you are explaining things.
Yes.
Work on your project demonstration skill. Okay. Other
Yes.
than that, you have put in really hard work, and I can see that the demo is really well done. Okay, so good, well done on the demo.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Imran.
Sir, I am audible.
Yeah, you are audible. Sahil, you can stop the screen share.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Imran. Sahil, please stop the screen share so that Imran can share. Or I will just. Yeah, I have changed the setting. You can just share. What is the name of your topic?
Stock market application.
But you are not studying for it.
Sir, one more time. Cannot listen.
Sorry.
Sir, I cannot listen. One more time. Repeat.
Yeah. So now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, you are not scheduled for it. I can't see your name.
Sir, but the task assigned, the last date of my presentation is 7th. I
So
represented, but
does it say you need to give presentation on 7th?
yes, sir. But I represent my presentation, but you give me some advice to improve my presentations, and now I am doing.
Okay, showing you again.